Hello and welcome to the Start of Climb channel with another flight. Today we're gonna create a flight plan and we fly from Orly, that's Paris Airport, Paris Orly, to Zurich in Switzerland. And we will do so with the Airbus A330-900 produced by ToLiss. As you can see, I have the SimBrief flight planner open, so I would like to start to create a flight plan from in Europe, that is. Let me zoom in a little bit, and Paris, that should be here somewhere, to Zurich, so the flight is not very long, but yeah, it gives a great insight in how the operation works in the A330. Okay, so let's first start with SimBrief. As you know, we work down from top to the bottom with all the data we need to file. We will first set our airline. We will fly with Virgin, and we will create a flight number. That's 210825, just a random number, and we will depart from Orly, I type, and it should become available. Paris, France, Orly, code ICAO, code is LFPO, so select this one. And for Zurich we can do the same. We can click the magnifier icon and we can just search for Zurich, and there we are, LSZH, select. Okay. Nothing calculated yet because we have to input our airplane first, and our airplane is the ToLiss A330-900, so that will be listed as the A339. And now we will start to see a flight plan. As you can see, we will start Paris Orly and we will fly to the east, a little bit downwards to Zurich. And if we cannot land on Zurich, we can divide to Geneva. I think, yeah, that's Geneva Airport. So we have to make the weather is too bad. It doesn't look like that because the weather is fairly good at the moment, and we should be able to depart to Geneva. Okay, let's select the correct airframe, and let's do so. The ToLiss X-Plane Trent 7000. That's all okay. And nothing more to change in here. We will leave this section also untouched. Only thing, just notice we use the latest AirEC code. You can also see here on top AirEC 2508. That's month 8 of 25, so that's the latest code. This means I use a paid SimBrief subscription to get the database fully up to date. If you don't have it, you need to work with an older database, and just make sure the database you plan is identical to the database in your plane. More on that later. Okay, so our flight rules are IFR. IFR is usually used for airliners, and VFR is for general aviation, like the smaller planes. I didn't change it, just leave it as it is, and we can set our flight if we want, but we will leave that all to automatic. Fuel planning, also leave that to automatic. If you are a starter, you can add as much as possible, because you will have to make a few turnarounds, and if things go right, make sure you don't run out of fuel. We just leave it for default. Text entries, no things needed here. And here we have our route. So we will see our basic route. All we need to do is add our SID and STAR, standard instrument departure and standard arrival route. Just click on find, and SimBrief will automatically select the correct data for you. So we click apply, and we should be good to go. Okay, so basically this is it. This is all we need to do, and now we can click on the top bottom, generate a flight plan, and this will take some time. And if you already have set up SimBrief correctly, this should be automatically imported into your Explain 12 flight plan. Okay, so this is it for now. You can view the actual flight plan, and what's most important is on page number 2. You will see here the routing. So that's the most important things, and here we have all the data we need in case you want to manually insert all the data into the MCDU. We are not gonna do this today. We just leave it plain and simple and automated. If you have paid subscription, you can also see the import into charts, and here you can see the complete route also in the Navigraph charts, but for now we will leave that. Okay, so after we created the flight plan, there is one more thing to do. We need to calculate the takeoff performance, and we click the takeoff performance in the top bar. Then you see everything is already copied from the SimBrief data, and we just need to get the weather. So you just click populate weather, and then you click calculate, and our takeoff performance is automatically calculated. Close the window and go to the landing performance. You can also do that, populate weather and calculate, but I do it now, but usually it's more convenient to do this when you are close to the airport. You arrive. I will show you later in this tutorial how to do it. Okay, this completes the flight plan setup, and what we will do now is we will go into our simulator and set up the flight for our departure from Paris Orly. Okay, Paris already selected. I double click it. One more thing, if you want to start cold and dark as we are, you need to uncheck this box, and let's go continue. Make sure that the engines are off when you start, if you like it. If you want to be a bit quicker, you can start the engines on. if you wish. We will use real weather today, real time, real weather, and click the Paris Orly, and I will set a ramp. We will start from the ramp. This ramp is A01, confirm, and start the flight. Okay, this will bring us to the co-pilot seat, and I will hop into the pilot seat as quick as possible, because we first want to start up the aircraft and make sure all the instruments get aligned. This process takes 7 minutes, so this is what we want to do as soon as possible. So let's head directly to the overhead panel, turn on battery 1 and battery 2, APU battery. We have ground power available and external power P available. So the battery starts to charge now, and as you can see, the instruments are booting up. It takes a few minutes. And in the meantime, we will go to the overhead panel and start the IRS ATC, the ATC they call it. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's all good. If you check out the EVIS now, you can see IRS align around 7 minutes. Okay, this gives us some time to check out the airplane from the outside. It's the beautiful Virgin Atlantic. We have a nice sunny day, so we will directly put on our sunglasses, because we probably need that. Yes, that's a lot better. And yeah, so this is the Virgin Atlantic A330 ToLiss. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Further, you can see I am using the live traffic plugin. You will see some planes flying here, and also more probably around. Okay, all good to go. Let's hop into the cockpit again, and let's continue with setting up our flight plan. So first I will tune up the brightness a little bit of the displays, because they are very dark at the moment. and it makes it a little bit difficult to read because we add so much data in there. This one brighter and this one also brighter. Okay, all good. So let's start heading over to our MCDU. Zoom in a little bit. And the first thing we check, of course, is the active navigation database. This is 250801. So 2508. Let's check out what we had here. AirEC 2508. So only now we are sure that the computer reads from the same database as your flight plan, so that's important. Okay, the next step is the initialization. You will click the init button here and we can request the flight plan. Init request done. So this will take 5 to 10 seconds. You will see the data getting into the MCDU, and yeah, there we are. So we don't have set a co-route. LSGG, that's Geneva. This is from LFPO to LSZH. This is Paris Orly to Zurich. Okay, that's all good. So let's check the wind data. We will also request the wind data directly. And return. And we can set the IRS alignments. Confirm alignments. All good. Okay, now we can head out to our flight plan to check our flight plan. And the first thing we will see is, of course, the discontinuities. So if you are a beginner, you have learned that you need to delete the discontinuities. This is usually not a good idea because the discontinuity you see here is just the missing out of the route between your departure runway and the first airway. So we will need to insert this data, and then the flight plan will be linked together automatically. How do we do that? We just click the departure airport. First LFPO, click that, and we can click departure. So now it will ask from which runway we will depart, and we can see that from our flight plan. Page 2, routing. LFPO 06, it says. Oh, 06, that's this one. And for a transition, we will use, we can see that in our Navigraph flight plan, PUB2F. Let's check that out if we see it here. No, so we need to scroll down a little bit with the arrow keys. PUB2F, that should be good. And for transition, we will select none and insert. Okay, now here you see it. It adds a bunch of waypoints. 1, 2, 3, 4 until the bubbly first. And so our departure route looks okay. Okay, the same we have to do for our arrival. So we scroll down a little bit until the next discontinuity. This is the part from the airway to the arrival runway. That's called the STAR, Standard Arrival Route. And we also need to add that into the system. So basically the MCDU don't know how to fly from the airway down to the runway, and that's the information we need to add. Okay. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. This one I click LSZH, then arrival, not departure but arrival, and here we will select the runway. We also need to check out our flight plan. Our flight plan sets runway 14, and here we also have 14. So we will click ILS 14, and for stars available we will check out the route, and it's set BLM3G. BLM3G, it's already here. Okay, we will click that. We will via via temporary inserts. Okay, so now our complete flight plan is good from the beginning till the departure runway. So you might have noticed that if we scroll down, we'll see that after the arrival runway, there are some discontinuities, but you can ignore them. We only need them if we have to make a turnaround or divide to another airport. So this one you can leave as they are. That's not important at this moment, at least. It's important that the complete flight plan from our departure from Paris to Zurich is closed and completely calculated. Okay, so this is done. Let's check out how far the instruments gone. Instruments are aligned. You already see the route on the display, so that's all good. And we can continue to set up our flight plan. Let's go to the performance data. Of course, we don't have the takeoff data yet, and we can import that directly from SimBrief. So to do so, we go to the Uplink takeoff data, click data request. Let's wait a little bit, the asterisk will return. And here we see, okay, received takeoff data, click this one, received takeoff data, and insert uplink. And now you see we have all the data here. So this is all good. We can check the fuel predictions. And we can see all the calculations are done. Okay. So this is good so far. We can continue to set up the aircraft for departure. So we have to enable the ATC. Click the ATC here and set this one to TARA with the arrow buttons, and ATC we set to automatic. If we go a little bit more down, we can also enable the weather radar. We set this to pilot 1 and this one to auto. We can close the cockpit door. Lock it, so no people can come in to our cockpit. Okay, that's all done. And now we can start up the APU. Need this to get the engines running. We'll set up the internal lighting. Set up and let's start the APU. Make sure the lead valves are on. Need to set all the fuel supply for the fire tests. APU become available, switch on the wing lights and the nose light to taxi, landing not needed, and now we can turn off the external power. And we can request for a controller radio check.
November 17, lead Charlie Heavy, radio check 121.705. November 17, Lima Charlie Heavy, reading you 5.
Okay. All good. Let's set this one a little bit brighter and request startup for VFR.
Request startup. Quebec 179 Lima Charlie Heavy. Information Bravo current. Startup approved.
Okay, so we can continue with startup engine number 2. To do so, we need to turn on the ignition switch and start engine number 2. In the meantime, we will request a pushback type straight.
Ground 9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Request pushback straight back. 9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Pushback tractor is on the way.
Throttles levels not at idle. We need to set the throttle levers correctly. Okay, here the pushback truck is coming, so now we need to head over to ISCS and go to ground service to remove the chocks. They are in front of the wheels, and we need to release the parking brake. Okay, all good. We are heading in the right direction. Time to start up engine number 2, or exactly engine number 1. And further, we need to check the flight controls. We are already disconnected. Let's check if the parking brake is set. No, it's not on. And we will set the flaps to 1, position 1. Spoilers armed. We were checking the flight controls. All good. Auto brake to maximum in case of a aborted takeoff. And we can request VFR departure to the east, northeast. No, to the east. Let's take east.
179er Lima Charlie Heavy. Hello, Airbus A330-900. 4 local flight returning today. 1 POV. Request taxi for VFR flight departing to the east. 9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Information Bravo current. Runway 07 taxi via Whiskey 2 Lima 4. taxi via whiskey.
Okay, engines running.
Whiskey 37, hold short.
Set the
079er Lima Charlie Heavy.
ignition switch back to normal. This should be at 1. And let's check for the... Okay, yeah. We can set APU bleed off. And we can turn off the APU. Let's clear all the message. Takeoff configuration check. Takeoff signs on. To set the and cabin crew. If they are ready. APU available should be go off. It always has some trouble to do so, but it will clear the message. Cabin ready already, no blues, so we can start taxiing. Okay, rolling. Okay, so we're rolling slowly to our departure runway, which is redirected to runway number 7.
Lima Charlie Heavy. Contact tower 118.700. Goodbye. Contact Orly Tower 118.700. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy. Goodbye.
Make sure you run so as close to the marking as possible with your front wheel. Yeah, exactly like that, because sometimes in other airports it's not really good detected. So
November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy on taxiway Whiskey 37. November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy, Orly Tower. Hello. Hold short of runway 07. Report ready. Hold short of runway 07. Wilco. November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy.
okay, we are ready for departure.
Orly Tower. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy. Ready for departure. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy. Squawk 1700. Fly heading 070. Runway 07. Clear for takeoff. Wind 050 degrees 6 knots. Variable 040270. Squawk 1700. Fly heading 070. Runway 07 cleared for takeoff. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy.
Okay, we need to set the squawk. Look at those beautiful shadows. Okay, perfect. Let's check. Checklist, no blues. Everything off. Cabin crew ready. Clear all messages. Checklist good. Okay, only thing we need to set the squawk to 1700. 1700. Okay, good to go. Here we go. Release parking brake and spool up engine. Stable. Thrust set. V1, rotate. Positive climb. Gear goes up. And above 400 feet, so we can enable the autopilot.
Charlie Heavy.
Lima Charlie Heavy. Contact approach 120.855. Goodbye.
Contact Orly approach 120.855. 9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Goodbye.
Flaps up. Thrust set to climb. Check.
November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy. Hello, Airbus A330-900 from La on altitude 2,300. 1 POV. Request traffic service.
9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Squawk 1700. QNH 1018. Traffic service.
Squawk 1700 QNH 1018. Traffic service. 9er Lima Charlie Heavy.
Okay.
9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Radar contact.
Okay, lever should be set to climb. And here we can see okay. So the next upcoming event is our or should be top of climb, and directly after we have the top of descent, and that will only take around 70 miles. So what we need to do right now is to prepare the aircraft for the landing. Usually you will do that around 40 miles before the top of descent, but this is a very short route. So we will start the preparations for the arrival, because this is a very short route, of course. Okay, how do we do that? We will go to our performance page and we will scroll to the not to the descent but to the approach phase and you see we have some data missing here. That data we need to get from the ISCS and from the landing performance. You see this screen is empty right now.
Contact France Control 118.030. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy goodbye. France Control November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy. Hello, Airbus A330-900 from Lafayette Goucher. Altitude flight level 198. 1 POV. Request traffic service.
Niner Lima Heavy. I have your details. QNH 1013. Traffic service.
QNH 1013. Traffic service. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy.
Okay, so we go to the ISCS, the onboard tablet, and we see that already the arrival runway 14 is selected, but there's no data yet. The only thing you need to do is click the compute button and the landing data will be calculated. So what's important for now is the weather data, because we need to file that into the approach. The first thing that's asked for is the QNH, and if we check QNH, it's 1018. So we type 1018 and we will click it in here. Okay, the next thing we need to enter is the temperature. The temperature is 20 degrees. So we will type 20. And the next question is the magnitude and the wind. and we will find this here. It's 241. $57. So we type in 241 and slash, only one slash, 241. Oh, sorry, I make a mistake. It's this one, 090. So we will type in 090 slash 04. So here we go, correctly. Yes, this is the magnitude and the wind speed. And as last we need to file the radio, that's the decision height. I set it to 100. The decision height of the runway. Okay, so that's it for now. Can check the flight plan, how far we are. So you will see the arrow here, and that's where we need to head down. And we will do so by setting the altitude to 5,000. See if I can capture that in one screen. Yeah, okay, so what you need to do now is to, you will see the airplane towards the arrow here. And just before top of descent, you will see it in the flight plan, and just before the top of descent, around 5 miles before top of descent, we will push the altitude button, so the aircraft will start descending. Okay, we can put the seat belts off for a short while. So if you, for example, go to the program, I use the secondary MCDU. If you go to program and you go to report, and you click this one, okay. So if we check the MCDU, we are now 6 nautical miles before the top of descent. So watch closely here. It's now 5. So now we can push the altitude button here. I will do that. And a few things will happen now, that the aircraft will start descending. We will see the throttle go to descent, and we will see the descent needle coming down. While descending, we can set a little bit of speed brake. But no more than 50%. So you can see we are going to a managed descent because if you look at the flight plan, you see in 16 nautical miles we should reach flight level 212, and we are now at 233. So yeah, we're descending exactly according the flight plan.
service cancelled. Squawk 7000. Free call range control 121.075. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy. Goodbye.
Okay, let's request flight following.
179er Lima Charlie Heavy. Hello, Airbus A330-900 from Luxoil St. Sobu Air Base. Altitude flight level 1841 POV. Request traffic service.
Niner Lima Charlie Heavy. Squawk 4705. QNH 1017. Traffic service.
Squawk 4705 QNH 1017. Traffic service. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy.
Okay, we can prepare the aircraft for landing a little bit. So we will check the auto brakes to medium. Already. Okay, one interesting thing is that note while we're descending, the lever still is in climb mode. Because if I set it down a little bit, you will notice you will get some error messages.
Niner Lima Charlie Heavy. Radar contact.
Like here you will see that it asks for the lever to set in climb. So if I set it back in climb, you will see the message goes away. Okay, 15,000 feet, still descending. Everything looks good.
number 179er Lima Charlie Heavy. Hello, Airbus 330-900 from Luxoil Saint-Sauveur Air Base. Altitude flight level 120. 1 POV. Request traffic service.
Niner, Lima, Charlie, Heavy. I have your details. QNH 1018. Traffic service.
QNH 1018. Traffic service. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy.
Niner, Lima, Charlie, Heavy. Radar contact.
Okay. Some alarm for speeding because we need to speed down a little bit. We will set our landing lights on. Okay. So, one more turn to the left.
Niner, Lima, Charlie, Heavy. Traffic service cancelled. Squawk 7000. Free call Zurich. Approach 120.750. Goodbye.
Traffic service cancelled. Squawk 7000. Free call Zurich. Approach 120.750. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy. Goodbye.
Okay, the airplane still in automatic descent. We should be at flight level 70 in around 9 nautical miles.
Approach. November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy. Hello. Airbus A330-900 from Luxoil St. Sophia Air Base. Altitude flight level 083. 1 POV. Request traffic service.
9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Squawk 0400. QNH 1019. Traffic service.
Squawk 0400 QNH 1019er. Traffic service. 9er Lima Charlie Heavy.
Okay, now we can start to prepare the landing slopes. We do so by clicking the LS button, and please check the left instrument. You will see the landing slope will appear, and later we will try to catch the localizer, the radio signal that guides the aircraft to the center line of the runway. But first we have to do this leg, and after that final turn we will be able to select that one.
Squawk 0400. 9er Lima Charlie Heavy.
Zero 400. Okay, set that one. Okay, one interesting thing, if you descending according the flight plan, you will see the green dot here, and the green dot will stay as close as possible to the center line. That is indicating that you are on the correct flight height. You will see here the green little dot that should become available. That will become available once you start your descent, so you can monitor if your descent is really according the plan. Here it is, the green dot. So it's perfectly centered, so we should be good. I mainly focus on this instrument now. It's the ILS, so I want to capture the localizer, and here we already have the runway. I also reduced the flight altitude to 4,000. I will set it to 3,000, and look what happens to the green dot. And what we also can do is reduce some more speed by setting the flaps to position number 2, that is, I think. Yeah. Halfways. So if you set the flap, the aircraft will reduce speed. But you need to do that stepwise. To stay below the red line. So if I set flap 1 notch further, that's also okay. And one more. Okay, please note the vertical localizer already appears in the screen, but not yet this one. I usually try to get this one first, but that will take some more time. So I think our flaps are now at full. Yeah, flaps full. So that's really good. And the aircraft now is configured for the approach speed. So this is really nice. So this is all indicating for a good good approach. One last right turn. And you will see the purple parallelogram appear. Okay, brakes were already set, so that's good. We can retract the landing gear. And here we will see the triangle coming. So I hit the localizer. And I can directly hit the approach. So what that does is it will get the aircraft aligned perfectly on the glide slope and perfectly on the arrival. It will no longer look at this one. And we have already the runway in sight. I also enabled a second autopilot. So the aircraft is now fully configured for the landing. As you can see, it's in the perfect glide slope, perfect position for the landing.
Charlie Heavy. Traffic service cancelled. Squawk 7000. Free call Switzerland Control 119.175. Goodbye.
Traffic service cancelled. Squawk 7000. Free call Switzerland Control 119.175. Niner Lima Charlie Heavy. Goodbye.
Okay, let's check in.
November 179 Charlie Heavy. Hello, Airbus A330-900 from Luxoil Saint Sauveur Air Base. Altitude 2,600. 1 POV. Request traffic service.
9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Traffic service.
Squawk 3001 QNH 1023. Traffic service. 9 Lima Charlie Heavy.
Okay, perfectly done. I will disable the autopilot and the auto throttle. And hand fly the aircraft manually.
Minimum. Lights. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Retard. 10. Retard. 5. Retard.
Okay. Let's keep on rolling. And request a taxi to the gate.
Zurich ground. November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy. Request taxi to stand.
November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy. Taxi Echo 26 via runway 14. Runway 14. Hotel 1. Hotel Juliet and Charlie. Contact Zurich Tower 118.100. Goodbye.
Taxi Echo 26 via runway 14. Runway 14. Hotel 1. Hotel Juliet and Charlie. Contact Zurich Tower 118.100. November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy. Goodbye.
9 Lima Charlie Heavy. You entered an active runway without clearance. Hold position immediately. Contact Zurich Tower 118.100. Goodbye.
Hold position immediately. Contact Zurich Tower 118.100. 9 Lima Charlie Heavy. Goodbye.
Okay, not sure what that's all about, but we are safe landed and welcome to Zurich, I would say. Let's check in with the controller.
Zurich Tower, November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy. Holding short of runway 14 on runway 14. Zurich ground, November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy. Request taxi to Echo 20.
November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy. Taxi Echo 20 via Charlie 1, Charlie 2, Juliet and Charlie.
Taxi Echo 20 via Charlie 1, Charlie 2, Juliet and Charlie. November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy.
Lima Charlie Heavy. Return to designated taxi route. 20 via Kilo, Bravo, Juliet, and Charlie.
Roger. Returning to route Kilo. Taxi Echo 20 via Kilo, Bravo, Juliet, and Charlie. 9er Lima Charlie Heavy.
Lima Charlie Heavy. Return to designated taxi route Kilo. Taxi Echo 20 via Kilo, Alpha, Juliet, and Charlie. Cross runway 10. Juliet, and Charlie. Cross runway 10.
Roger. Returning to route Inner. Taxi Echo 20 via Inner, Juliet, and Charlie. Cross runway 10. 9er Lima Charlie Heavy.
Okay, back on the runway. Obviously have run it to the wrong section of the airport because the lack of instructions. Oei, oei, oei. Oh, I need to make another turn. I cannot make this one. The last part is a little bit quirky, but yeah, I want to have this airplane safely parked so we can depart the passengers. The ground handling is so hard in this ToLiss aircraft. It's simply impossible. I will find me another parking spot.
Zurich ground, November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy, request taxi to Echo 26.
November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy, taxi Echo 26 via Delta, Foxtrot, and Charlie.
Taxi Echo 26 via Delta, Foxtrot, and Charlie, November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy.
Okay, now it must work out. It's all about dedication.
Zurich ground, November 179er Lima Charlie Heavy, shutdown.
November 179 Lima Charlie Heavy, shutdown approved.
Okay, flaps normal. That's enough. Engine number 1 off. And engine number 2 off. Okay, so that's it for this flight. Thank you very much for watching this very long episode. I hope it's useful for you, and please subscribe to my channel so we can keep growing, and motivates me to make even more videos like this, so you can learn a little bit about the airplanes, and especially the ToLiss, in this case the A339 or aka the Airbus A330-941. Okay, thank you for watching, and please like it and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.